Fuck it, we'll do it live. I remember that saying. Who said that for bonus points, people? I decided to come at you live. This is kind of unannounced. This is the comic book haul. I think it's number 29, actually. I may accidentally have it labeled number 28. I got a stack of comics here that I buy each week. I think I got about 8 this week. It's kind of a smaller week for me. And I just kind of, talk about the issues I picked up and maybe, some other stuff. No big whoop. Let's get started, all right? Okay. I'm starting out with Sinestro. I have a color-coordinated drink here, all pulpy. Look at the pulp. It's my second glass of orange juice with seltzer. And look at how pulpy that is, man. That looks so pulpy. It looks like it's like a slushy. God, I love orange juice with pulp. You know, to really coat your throat. All right, Sinestro Annual, number 1. This is the first ever Sinestro Annual for this series. Basically, it's a murder mystery, okay? One of the core of the Sinestro core, and it doesn't seem like it's a very essential character, gets murdered, folks. He gets taken out. Look at that. His horn's broken. Little Creme Master 5 action, if anybody knows that reference, what movie that is. He's murdered. So Sinestro has got to figure out, who did this. Why is there a murderer infiltrating the core? What is going on here? What's happening? And they do kind of an interesting story device. They tell the origin stories of a whole bunch of different characters in the Sinestro core. I think you get Arkillo, Lissa Drac, Becca, Des Trevius, and Regan Kale. So you get, looks like about 5 origin stories. Did I count that right? Yep, 5 origin stories. And you guys know how I kind of feel about origin stories. Sometimes they just kind of rail them off in such rapid succession. It kind of, I don't know, kind of makes my head spin. You guys know, if you've been watching this with the Nightbreed series, Boom Comics, it seemed like the first 8 issues, all they did was talk about origin stories. So I'm hoping that this reads smoothly. I mean, I'm really looking forward to finding out the origin story of Arkillo. He's kind of like the Kilowog of the Sinestro core. He's kind of like the brutish, tankish character. He's kind of like a dinosaur looking dude. Looks like they got some kind of prehistoric thing going on here with him. So that should be really interesting. I'm pretty stoked and excited to find out what his origin story is, because he's kind of like my favorite character other than Sinestro. Kind of like how Kilowog is my favorite character in Green Lantern Corps, or of the Green Lantern Corps. Other than Green Lantern, I really like Green Lantern. So different artwork for each story. I'm looking forward to seeing what that murder mystery is going to entail. There's Sinestro right there, buddy. Looking good. This is written by Cullen Bunn. Excellent writer. I love him. And now my camera's all blurry. All right. Another annual. Number 2, Batman, Superman. This is... I think it's the conclusion of the Batman or Superman's Joker story arc. Basically, they've kind of figured out who this person is. They defeated him. But this Superman's Joker had a plan put in place that was going to kill Clark Kent. Little spoiler alert. Superman utilizes his new power in this, his super flare. And if you know anything about the new super flare, it basically turns Superman, one of the side effects of using it. It's a very powerful, very, very powerful superpower. One of the side effects is that it depletes all of his energy and he becomes human for a day. He loses all his superpowers. He says this, okay? This is what it's like to do the super flare. Superman's words. Imagine every cell in your body exploding like a miniature supernova. That's my new solar flare power. It incinerates the doomsday cloud and it feels incredible. But there's a price. I'll be completely depowered for the next 24 hours. So he's super vulnerable. He is super vulnerable. Here's the super flare in action. See what it does? It turns him into like the Human Torch, man. And it just takes out everything in its path, and its radius gets demolished. But then he falls from the sky. I can't do this today. And he's a ripped Clark Kent. Oh my God. Looks like freaking Jay Cutler. All right, so it'll be interesting to find out what goes on there. All right, another DC title. I got Harley Quinn, number 16, Harley Quinzel. This is her new gang of Harleys. You see these women there? She's interviewing in this issue, okay? A gang of Harleys. Basically, this issue kind of takes her through the interview process. You know, she's kind of tired of all the crime in her city. She wants to clean things up. So she assembles a squad. She puts an advertisement, I think, on Craigslist or something, or in the paper. Tons and tons of women show up. They're interested. And Harley puts them to the test and says, all right, whoever wants to be in my gang of Harleys, you guys got to duke it out. And I forget whatever number is left remaining. You guys will be part of my new gang. This is very, very dialogue heavy. It kind of goes through all the interviews, and I guess everybody kind of gives a background story. I kind of have a feeling that the chick in the wheelchair is going to get in. I'm not going to say why, but it's awesome. And I don't know. I love Harley Quinn. You know, in the beginning of this book, too, they're at the movie theaters, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, slamming popcorn, kind of making fun of pop culture references and stuff like that. They're making noise. They piss off the guys behind them. And potential fight ensues. But I really like the work of Chad Hardin. Just draws Harley so well. And there's a whole bunch of other artists in here as well, not just him. There's a crew, and it gives you all the page numbers and everything where they start to do their artwork as well. And, you know, written by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Balamardi. Just a great, great book. I mean, it's just really surprising. I guess I'm reading how well that this book has been doing. Some people say that this is DC's answer to Deadpool. And, you know, because it's just got a real sense of humor to it, and it's kind of funny, and it's so quirky in its own sense. And I really love it. And it's on my permanent pull list. It's never been in keep or sleep status. And that's DC. DC Convergence starts this month officially. Convergence number 0 came out. And like I told you guys last week, I'm officially sitting that out. Now, I don't know. Maybe I might cave in and buy the Green Lantern one because I really enjoy that, or maybe one of the Batman ones. But I'm also afraid if I do that, that's going to open the floodgates. And I just don't understand what the whole thing is about. It was never fully and thoroughly explained to me. So I think I'm just going to sit it out, give my wallet a break, and buy some more amiibos. I don't know if you can see them off. If you check out my black shelf over there, okay? And on the top of that black shelf, you can't see it, I have like a huge stack of amiibos. I'm a dork. Okay. Amazing Spider-Man number 17. This continues the story arch of Trouble at Peter Parker Industries. I forget what it's even called. His company. It's like a security company. It's Graveyard Shift Part 2. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that number 17 was continuing that story, okay? And then part 2 of the Black Widow story. So there's actually 2 stories in here. I'd say the last third of the book is, yeah, Black Cat story. Repossession. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even read the first parts of these stories yet. What I did read last week when this came out, or did it come out 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. Was Spider-Man 16.1, which I didn't really notice and realize, which was the start of the Spiral story arc. And this is basically about Kingpin is no longer in the city. He's over in Europe somewhere. And so now there's a battle for turf over, you know, the mafia and gangland. You know, they're fighting for supremacy. And I really like this issue too. And I was hoping that it was going to be part 2 of that, and I just am totally off kilter. And I'm a little disappointed because I was all rip-roaring and ready to go and continue reading this story, Spiral. So I'm going to wait until the Spiral number 2 comes out to really talk about this. But I definitely like the storyline. It's interesting. There's some cool interplay between Spider-Man and I think it's Captain Wantambi, who also moonlights as oh my god, I forget the name of her character, of her superhero. I don't remember. I think of Wraith. She moonlights as Wraith because she's pissed off at the bureaucracy of the police and all the rules and the regulations. She can't get shit done the way she wants to. The chief is on her ass about following the book. So she dresses up as Wraith at night and extracts evidence in a special way. All right. Anyway. Punisher, number 17, folks. We have Punisher, Frank Castle against Captain America. And I've been out of the comic game for a long time. I didn't realize that Captain America is now an African-American, which I thought was like, wow, what's going on? What happened to Steve Rogers? Like, I don't know. I've been out of the game. So if somebody could kind of fill me in. I guess they have a new Captain America to don the shield. And this fight kind of really takes up over half the issue. And I'm not going to spoil it for you to let you know who wins, but these guys really go at it. Captain America, new look. Looks like a new uniform, too. Like, I haven't had anything to do with Captain America in years. Like, I have no clue. I have no clue what's even going on. But I guess I did read an issue of Spider-Woman. I think it was like Spider-Woman number 4. And I think is Captain America's name Steve Rogers? I can't remember. But it had Steve Rogers in it. And he was like an old man. So that kind of threw me off too. I don't know why I never brought it up before. So it made me all kind of like confused. I don't know what the heck's going on. What I really like in this issue is the coloring by Mitch Gerads. It's probably my favorite thing about the book and about this whole story arc. So I guess Captain America wants to beat Frank Castle's ass is because, you know, Punisher is getting a lot of bad press about starting a riot, or he's being accused of starting a riot. And in last issue, he kidnapped, I think it was the Secretary of State or something, had him over in one of the White House golf courses or something and was beating him with like a 5-iron. So I guess Captain America caught wind of this and is trying to investigate and find out what the hell's going on. So I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's a large portion of the issue is that fight. So Punisher, Frank Castle, baby. All right. We're moving right along, man. I think when I do this live, this goes a lot quicker. It's probably because I'm nervous. And I actually have a viewer or two. So hello out there, whoever's out there watching. Here's the next pick. Hellboy and the B.P.R.D. 1952, number 5. This is the final story of this year. I'm not sure how many years they're going to go up in this. It's starting at 52. This is Hellboy's first year with the B.P.R.D. He's kind of a rookie. Maybe that's why he's beat down here by this Nazi monstrosity. So it's a young Hellboy, an inexperienced Hellboy, and that's what's really been the most interesting thing about this book so far, this series, is that you're so used to Hellboy being so confident and assuring, and in this, he actually expresses a lot of doubt and confusion. He's more timid. So it was really interesting. If you're a fan of Hellboy or the B.P.R.D., really check it out. I highly recommend it. It's got a great team on here. It's got John Arcudi, Alex Maleev is the artist, Dave Stewart doing the colors. It's just an unbelievable team. It's just kind of classic looking Hellboy. There's been someone within the ranks here that has been also trying to kill Hellboy, you know, one of his own in B.P.R.D. So maybe that is all revealed. But just great stuff. I mean, you can't beat Smoking Monkeys, can you? Look at that, man. Everybody in the 50s smoked, even the monkeys. All right. Vertigo. This is really the only title that I've been buying from Vertigo. It's by Cullen Bunn, writer. Wolfmoon. And this is a werewolf story. It's about a werewolf. Every month he possesses a new host. And he's being hunted by one of the people that he formerly possessed. And there's also another hunter who's come into the mix that is also hunting the werewolf. But something happened to him last issue. I don't want to ruin that. And another thing is going on. There is a killer who is killing the hosts of the werewolf. So he's going around and doing all this. It's crazy. This is just a crazy story. I really enjoy it. It's written by Cullen Bunn, one of my favorite writers. I love, you guys know that I love Sinestro. This is issue number 5 of 6. It's going to be concluding after 6 issues, and then it's going to be all done. I highly recommend it. It's pretty, you know, it's a pretty straightforward story. The first 4 or 5 issues. The first 4 issues were pretty gory, you know, pretty graphic parts. This one doesn't look like there is as much. And also in this issue, it kind of explains, there's the wolf. This issue also kind of explains some of the backstory of the main character's wife, because she ends up joining him in this issue to pursue this werewolf. Like, she actually tracked down her husband. She said that she looked at credit card information, found out what hotel he was in, and drove there. And so now they're teamed up in this issue to try to track down the werewolf. Oh, here's some gore. Maybe I spoke too soon. See that? That's someone's head. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that you know, we've been seeing in this series, and I love it. I love horror comics. It's my favorite. Wolfmoon. I highly recommend it, people. All right. And finally, Dark Horse Comics. We have Neverboy. This is issue number 2. It's kind of a weird story. It's basically an imaginary friend who's an adult now. And the only way that he can kind of stay real, he's manifested into a real person. And the only way that he can stay that way is if he takes drugs. Like, they don't say what kind of drugs he needs to take, but he needs to take drugs. And I guess what he's doing is illegal, because at the end of the last issue, he gets like tracked down by these fantasy police, and they accuse him. They're like, you were in violation of fantasy code, unauthorized, lingering around, something or other. And that's how the issue kind of ended. This issue, I guess, picks up with a new story. A new character is introduced about a struggling artist who is now a taxi cab driver. There's a little bit here. I'm not sure if this takes place in New York or not. I'm not really sure. But he's a struggling artist. Can't make ends meet as an artist, so he's driving a taxi cab. And he starts to become very disgruntled about a situation. You know, how many of us know someone in real life, right, that once did something that they enjoyed or tried to make it a profession of doing something that they once enjoyed, and it just didn't pan out, and they start to lose their passion for it. You know, I know that I've known people like that. So I'm figuring that that's going to kind of strike home for me. So it kind of takes us through there. And he meets up with Neverboy. Neverboy's this guy with the white hair in the blue suit. And these are the police people, these weird looking guys in the scooter with the balloons. Those are the police. So it's kind of a weird story. You know, I'm going to give it another shot. This is definitely on keep or sleep status. So I'm going to see how it kind of goes in this issue, and I'll make my decision, you know, as to whether or not I'm going to keep reading it. So right now, this is definitely on keep or sleep status, and I'll keep you guys posted by the time the next issue comes out, or the week before the next issue comes out, whether or not I'm going to be keeping this. So Dark Horse Comics, Never Boy. Never Boy. All right, peeps. That's been the comic book haul for this week. Let me guys know, or let me. Sorry, guys, I'm live. This is my first live show. I'm all messed up. Let me know, guys, which comics you got down below, what comics you're looking forward to, maybe what your thoughts are on Convergence, this whole Convergence event. I don't know. It just sounds like a nightmare to me, and I'm sitting it out. So let me know, and this will be posted up on YouTube when it ends. So thanks for watching me live, people, and you guys have a great week, okay? Take care. Happy Easter, everybody. Peace.